The new Perot Museum in downtown Dallas, a huge hit. Fiona really had to finagle to get her way in.
Luckily, she knows people. They've got new summer exhibits. One that's, well, pretty trashy. Right, Fiona?
Yeah, you might say that. You might say that. It's like Studio 54 back in the day to get into this museum nowadays. It's so popular. I mean, you would remember that, right?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Vaguely.
That was a scene, baby. Yeah.
All right, we are here in their newest exhibit called Recycle Reef, and you can see all these pieces of art, and you can see them all right here, all displayed. These have all been made in just the past 3 days by kids and adults here at the Perot Museum, okay? And what you see here, even everything it's on, and even the walls can be recycled here. So the entire exhibit making use of recycled materials, and we'll tell you what they're going to do with it afterwards in just a moment. Steve Hinckley, of course, with the Perot Museum, joins us this morning. Already making something to contribute to inside there.
Just making my little fish.
That's right. Now, and he's copying this right here. Of course, kids can come in here and make all their pieces of art on any of these stations all the way along the walls here and contribute to the exhibit in there.
Yep.
Now let's real quickly remind people about the importance of recycling and how something so little can go such a long way. We've got, of course, aluminum cans right here.
Got aluminum cans. About every 3 months there are enough aluminum cans that are used and disposed to refabricate every single commercial airliner in the United States. It takes about 100 years for a can actually to decompose.
And you can run a television, is that true, for 3 hours on the energy saved by recycling just one aluminum can?
I think that's right, yes.
Okay, so we would need for our show, well, more than one. Okay, all right, now power, of course. Let's talk about smartphones and credit cards.
Huge amounts of those things. If every American household paid its credit card bills electronically, they'd save about $2 billion a year just in the postage costs, and enough to wipe out the average credit card debt for about 250,000 people. You also could power about 200,000 homes for 1 year if every smartphone was recycled at the end of its life.
Wow, good thing to know about the smartphones. Now let's talk about grocery bags, because Austin has already banned grocery bags, but the city council last week here just discussed banning plastic grocery bags recently.
Yep.
So hopefully we go that same route. Is that?
I think it might be a very good thing. You know, the thing about plastic is that it doesn't actually biodegrade. It takes forever for this stuff to break down, and it only does so by exposure to light. So when it gets into a landfill, it never goes anywhere because it doesn't actually have any exposure to sunlight.
And so a 15-year-old tree can make 700 paper grocery bags.
Yeah,
a busy grocery store can use 700 bags in an hour?
It'll blow through that in about an hour.
Bring your own bags!
Right.
Okay, paper waste. Let's talk about real quickly about the difference of one napkin.
So the huge amount of napkins that you have, I mean, there are enough napkins that are done every year to stack up to the Empire State Building. I mean, it's just huge amounts of paper waste that are generated by that.
And of course, what people may not realize is there's a massive thing of garbage floating in the Pacific Ocean. Tell me about that.
Yeah, largely made of plastic. So there's this thing called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's made of about 2 separate chunks, and on the eastern side, which floats between Hawaii and California, there's a chunk that's essentially the size of 2 states of Texas side by side. Massive, 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 huge piece of floating plastic basically out in the ocean.
All right, so let me go ahead and contribute to the piece of art right here, and you want to tell folks what are the plans for this exhibit when it's all done?
So the exhibit will run through August 25th, and then all of this material will be completely recycled. And we'll go through cycles every now and again and clean it out, trim it out. As you can see, 3 days of activity have really filled the space up. So every now and again we'll come through and trim it out a little bit so that visitors have a space to place their exhibit piece.
But everything is recyclable, even the walls?
Everything, absolutely. And it will get put into a big, huge recycle bin and sent to the recycling.
I did that. To your work.
Excellent. Perfect.
All right, that's going to go up in there. Let's get the information up for summer hours when you can get into this crowded museum. It's so popular. It is strongly encouraged to reserve tickets in advance to avoid sellouts and waiting in line in the summer. Basically, right now, the museum is open an extra hour until 6 o'clock until 9 p.m. on Labor Day weekend. Now, here's a little bit of a tip. If you are a member, you can get in for members-only hours from 8:30 to 10 a.m. every Saturday and 10 a.m. to noon every Sunday. Monday, we're told, is a good day to go. Tickets are $15 for adults. We've got a link to the museum. You can reserve a spot at myfoxdfw.com. Now, Steve, how strong is this right here?
This is hexacomb, and this stuff is really, really strong. It's used in industrial packing and for a lot of other uses, and it should support your weight. We don't encourage this.
Yes, yes, kids, you can't come here to the museum and try what I'm about to try.
But
Hold on, let's
just
see.
to demonstrate how
Steve
strong
is right.
it is.
Okay, you can't do this when you come here, or Steve will yell at you, and you can't blame me. Reporting live at the Perot Museum, I'm Fiona Gorsiza for Good Day.
Yes, but Fiona...
Oh, it's strong.
It's strong.